Hello. How's everybody?
Good.
Good. Obviously, I am not Steve Alford. Okay. We can start from there.
How have you seen Kavan develop, especially throughout the season, just skill-wise?
Well, I think the biggest thing is how well he's shooting the basketball. He's been 2 of 3 from 3 the last 3 games. And when he does that, now he's better able to use his length and get into the basket and things like that. And, that's a tribute to Kavan, just getting in the gym, shooting on his own. So I think that's the first thing. And then I think he's kind of developing more of a feel for where he can get shots. Obviously, it's a whole lot different than how he's going to get shots in high school. And he's making that transition real well.
What does Tony need to do to get back to where he was before this road trip?
Well, I think the biggest thing is just really making sure he's right mentally, and then teams are making the adjustment of doubling him and getting double teamed as aggressively as he got double teamed these last 2 games. That's an adjustment, and then I think the second thing is he's got to make sure he stops fouling. He's gotten some easy and quick fouls, and that's taking him out of the game. You foul out of both games. He was kind of on his heels both games. A lot of it's just because of early foul trouble.
How does he stay out of foul trouble?
One, what we said first, he's got to make sure he's mentally prepared to play, and he's got to do his work early. In other words, you can't wait to get in post defense. You got to start to work on your post defense early before the guy gets in a scoring and operational area. He's got to do his work to keep him from getting the ball deep. All those things, that preparation before the ball actually gets there.
Could you tell that frustration maybe played a part in those last 2 games for him? Just them double-teaming him and him getting frustrated?
Yeah, I think a little bit. One, the double team, but more than that, just kind of getting those fouls. You just start to get going, and you get a cheap foul. The game at Arizona where he has the ball in a good position, makes a good post move, misses the jump hook in the middle lane, then goes for the offensive rebound and gets an over the back call. And it's just like, okay, here we're going now, and then he gets the foul, and now he has to come sit down next to me, which that in itself is a problem. So that'll frustrate you. But I think he had such good games going into the Arizonas that's what was really disappointing for him, and nobody wants it to do well more than him. He's a guy that really cares about his teammates. I know he wants to do great. We want him to do great, and so we're hoping being back here at Pauley Pavilion that things are going to turn back around the way they were before we left the state.
How much would you say he kind of became a part of the offensive identity when you guys were flowing on offense before this past weekend?
Well, it's always great when you can go from inside out. I think everybody shoots the ball better when you have an inside presence, because now you have guys closing out at you as opposed to draped on you. And when Tony is a presence inside, it makes things so much easier for everybody else. And so kind of Tony is a huge key to us. And I think when we came back and we practiced yesterday, you could tell an even greater sense of urgency than I have seen in 2 years.
How much does it help to have a guy with Kavan's length at the top of that 3-2 zone, just adjusting kind of everything an offense does?
Well, I think it's great. You have a 7'4" wingspan. That's not kind of a normal dude up there. And so having Kavan up there, it just gives us a much different look. And when he goes, and even when the ball goes to the corner, he's able to get down and front the post. And, it's really given us another look defensively. And if you think Arizona went into the game scoring over 70 points a game, and to keep them well under 60, that was a big part of it. It was being able to change defenses, and then to be able to utilize Kavan's length is part of that.
What's the learning curve been like for the zone with this year's team compared to last year?
Well, one, I think, last year we were able to just outscore people. And this year I think we're probably playing a lot better defensively. We just don't have quite the firepower, obviously, that we did last year. But, we're starting to learn, and someone like Kavan really had never played zone before. Certainly not a 2-3 zone, and so a lot of these guys, it was a completely new defense for them. And so being able to change defenses is what's been has made our zone a lot more effective. And last year we didn't play the 3-2 zone, and the reason for that, obviously, we didn't have a Kavan Looney with that type of length. And we stole the ball out. We weren't a great lockdown defensive team last year, but we were one of the best top 5 or whatever in the country in getting steals, and that was a lot lot because of the basketball IQ of guys like the Wares, Kyle Anderson, Jordan Adams. Those guys had such high basketball IQ that we got so many steals, which led to easy baskets. This year we're kind of having to grind it out a little bit more defensively, not quite as many steals, but I think we are a little bit better defensively.
I know zone was kind of the defense of your choice when you were coaching in high school. Is that something you've always taught the zone, or is?
Well, when I was the head coach at Wright State University, we were probably more man-to-man and even some combination defenses, triangle and two, diamond and one, doing anything we can to try and steal some possessions. But as I went and did some high school stuff, I was doing the pro training, we ran all zone. And the philosophy behind it was it didn't take quite as long to drill the zone. And so we were able to spend more time at skill development and really trying to increase the player's ability to shoot the ball, handle pressure, those type things. So it was kind of one, more than anything, just to give our players the best opportunity to grow as a skilled basketball player.
What's been the hardest aspect of the zone for this team to kind of master?
Well, I think one of the things is some of these new guys had never played it. And so being able to teach something new and then going against some of the teams, especially that we had to play early, we going against the Kentuckys and the Gonzagas, that's probably the biggest adjustment for everybody is going against that level of talent. And but the guys have hung in there. We've gotten better at it, and being able to change defenses and even adding some of the pressing aspect to it has helped our defense and has helped keep teams a little bit off balance. And now they haven't had to fight screens as much. And obviously we're playing. The starters are playing big minutes so that it gives them an opportunity, not necessarily to rest, but to not have to chase guys as much distance. There we go.
What was that matchup like with Stanley Johnson going up against guys who probably got 3 inches of weight on you?
It's a lot of fun, me and Stanley go way back. Got to play against him in the summer at the Adidas Nations, and he's a good friend, long time. Him and his connection between D Brown and the modern day and everything like that. It was a lot of fun to guys competing on the court trying to get a win.
Tony's been a little bit inconsistent at times throughout his career. It seemed like he got consistent this year especially, but then these last few games have kind of been tough for him. Have you seen maybe a change in his attitude at all, or how have you seen him act over this last weekend?
I think he's been really positive. He's really hard on himself because he works so hard at his game and trying to be the best that he can, and not be able to perform the way he wanted to in the last road trips. Really was hard on him, but he's staying positive. He's leaning on the coaches and the team, and he's been going in and watching film, getting in the weight room, getting extra conditioning like he always does. So he's working on his game even harder, and I think his mindset to go at the game and leave it all on the court, and whatever happens, happens, and we're going to have his back no matter if he plays well or if he doesn't, and that's something that the team has always had through the ups and downs of the struggles of the season between different players. We've always had each other's back, and he's just going to look forward to coming to the Washington game tomorrow and play his best basketball. You try to put all the blame on him, when he's not performing well, and that's not what it is. It's a team sport, and I've done the same thing sometimes when I've had rough games and we're able to pull out wins, and the whole thing is coming together and playing strong and being together. And something that Tony's learning as a young player is not put all the bad on him. It's a team sport, and whether he's playing good or bad, we're going to ride this out together. And his whole thing is coming together with the team and playing the best basketball, and that's what we can look forward for him, because it's going to make him a better player to take the pressure off of him and put it on the team. That's what coach has been talking about this later part in the season.
What did you see in Saturday's game defensively that maybe has been lacking in some other games?
Just the full-out effort. I think the guys really fought and battled throughout the foul troubles that we had, and guys playing in different positions that they normally don't play in. We were working, we're doing whatever it took to hopefully pull out a win. And that's what we want to see. We want to see the fight, the heart, and the passion. I think that's what's been lacking in some games on the defensive end is the passion and just the enjoyment of being able to play defense together and get stops and be able to transition and enjoy the game of playing basketball. And I think the Arizona game really brought that out of us.
Why has that been a struggle to bring that energy every game?
I think it's just a young team, learning and being able to build off success. I feel like Coach has really talked about it. When we do good and go on good stretches, you tend to relax, and that's how teams are able to get back in the game and things like that. So it's just learning how to keep your foot on the pedal when you got a good lead, when you get out of the gates on a fast start, and keep building that, not to relax, not to slow down, just to keep playing basketball the way you can and be the aggressors.
What do you think this team has kind of transitioned into playing a little bit more zone than it has in the past few years?
I think it's just what coach does. You know, he likes to mix defenses, and I think that's a good thing for this team. We're really long. The zone really helps. You know, when we go to that 3-2 and have Kavan up top, he's able to use his length on some of the smaller guards. You know, make it hard for him to pass and move the ball around. So to be able to go zone really helps. You know, it limits some foul trouble from the bigs who pick up too early fouls or whatever it is, and even guards. So being able to mix defenses and go into the zone from man to zone is really big for this team.
Did you guys send Coach Alford get well Carter some flowers or anything?
Probably when he gets back. You know, he's been texting the team, and we all talked to him before film yesterday, and he was joking around about different things before his surgery. So it's a lot of fun to see that he still has high spirits throughout the adversity that he's facing, and we're just wishing for him a speedy recovery and to be back for the game tomorrow.
Just no picking him up on your shoulders tomorrow.
No, none of that. So we're just going to try to make it as easy as possible for him so he doesn't get another hernia and yell at us on the bench. So we're going to try to make it a fun game for him so he can relax a little bit and recover.
You say hernia come from stress.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully not, you know, a little bit, but we're just going to have fun and enjoy that everything went well with him and his surgery, and hopefully pull out a win so that could make him feel a little bit more better.
He texted me this morning, and he's a little sore today. He said he's not feeling too well. He said he's trying to make sure he gets a lot of rest today so he can be back tomorrow.
What's been the learning curve for you guys in the zone defense, especially this season? Seems like you played it more this year than last.
Yeah, I think our personnel for this year is a little bit better for zone. I think having Kavan at the top of the 3-2 has been something that's really been good for us, to be able to switch from man. And then we like to do that full court 1-2-2, and we can easily drop back into 3-2 instead of having to kind of scramble around to get into 2-3, which we did a lot of last year. So this way we can just literally just drop straight back into it. We have our defense set, and that way by the time they break our little press, we're not even really trying to get steals. We're just trying to take up time. So then when they get past half court, they're working with the NBA shot clock, so it makes it tough on offenses.
Heading into the season, do you think that the defense would be generating more steals than what it did last year?
A little bit, you know, that's kind of our style of play. We like to get steals like that. Obviously, it's hard when you lose a guy like Jordan, who got so many steals for us last year, leading the Pac-12. So you lose a guy like him, an athletic guy like Zach. It's kind of hard to get the amount of steals that we got last year. But yeah, I mean, we kind of have more of a pack line defense this year. I think we kind of like to pack it in. That was our game plan against Arizona: pack it in, make them shoot jump shots, and try to get rebounds.
How has Tony handled what was probably a pretty frustrating couple games for him?
I think he's doing fine. You know, his confidence is still high. You know, all of our guys believe in him. He believes in himself. We know the caliber of player he is. He's a McDonald's All-American out of high school. He's had big-time games for us all year, and he's our guy in the middle. That's our guy, and we got to have him, and he knows that, and he's going to be ready to go.
You know, Norman said that he was trying to put a lot of the blame on himself to you guys. What did he say to you?
Just, you know, he's upset about it. You know, you have a bad game, you have a couple bad games, you're upset. The Utah-Colorado trip, I did the same thing. I told the guys, hey, I can't play like that. You know, I'm your point guard. I can't play that way. I can't miss that many shots. I got to lead us better than that. And that's kind of the same thing that he did. You know, he says, hey, I got to stay out of foul trouble. I got to be on the court because I know you guys need me. So his head's in the right direction.
Have you seen a change in how Norman acts in terms of leadership or anything this year compared to last?
Yeah, you know, he's grown up a lot. Last year, you know, we had guys like Kyle and Jordan and, you know, all these guys leave, and then now he's the focal point. You know, he's the senior leader. He's got a lot thrown at him, especially with all the adversity that's hit us. He all of a sudden becomes the guy, and that's not an easy thing to do, and I think he's done a great job with it, and he's really been a really good leader for us.
Can you tell he's the old man on the team now? Has he acted like that this year?
Yeah, you know, a little bit. Obviously, he doesn't have the old man legs like some of us get. He can jump out of the gym whenever he wants. But yeah, you know, he keeps us sane. Sometimes, you know, we're a young group. We're fiery. We're competitive, and sometimes he's got to yell at us a little bit. And hey, calm down. You know, it's a 40-minute game. We got this kind of thing. And he's done a great job with that all year.
Is that the sort of thing you can really tell in a game like against Arizona, where it's tense and, you know, there's a lot of, you know, physicality and tension, you know, going on?
Yeah, you know, it's a game like that. It's rivalry week. It's obviously a big game for both teams. You know, We're trying to get a big-time win on the road. They're trying to stay in the hunt for a Pac-12 championship. I mean, a lot was on the line for that game, and you could tell that both sides, we were getting chippy right from the get-go. There's a loose ball at the beginning of the game, and we're tackling each other to get it, kind of stuff. And so I mean, tensions were high in that game, and there's a lot riding on it. So we were both playing hard, both sides.
Thanks, Bryce.
Thanks, guys.
How big of an adjustment has it been for you to be at the top of that 3-2 zone? I know Coach Schilling was saying you hadn't really played any zone before.
It's been a big adjustment. It's a lot of area to cover at the top. It's farther away from the basket. It's tougher to rebound. But I'm starting to get used to it, being more active and trying to make a difference.
Do you prefer playing man or zone?
It's about the same to me. I know we need to play both, switch it up to better. Been playing better defensively. We've been switching our defenses up, so I don't have a problem with either one of them.
How different did it feel offensively when the two Arizona teams had shut down Tony and he was having kind of a frustrating night? How different did that make you guys offensively?
It made a big difference. Tone's a focal point on our offense, and when he can't stay on the court because of foul trouble, it's tough for him to get a rhythm. So it threw everybody else out of rhythm too, because you want him to get the ball, because he causes double teams, he takes up a lot of space, and then he rebounds well. So without him on the court, it threw our rhythm off a little bit.
It seemed at the start of that second half, you and Bryce were kind of key in that big run. Are you expecting to get more kind of pick and pop opportunities going forward?
I mean, that's a lot of our game. Earlier this season, I just wasn't making them shots. I think I had the same opportunities. I wasn't shooting them or taking advantage of the opportunities I had. I've been feeling more confident with my jump shot, and they've been finding me, and I've just been taking the opportunities of it.
Do you feel like you're in a position, confidence-wise, that you're going to be taking more threes when they're open?
I think so. I've been hitting and shooting the ball well. I've been enough practicing, and I think I deserve to shoot in the game. So when I got the opportunity to take advantage of it, I'm gonna do it.
Does it seem like teams are maybe attacking Tony a little bit more now that they see him struggling or defending him differently in terms of throwing more double teams?
Yes, he's been more. They've been paying attention to a lot more. They've been doubling him really hard. Something he's gonna have to adjust to. I think he can be able to handle it, because we got a lot of shooters to spread the court out as long as he can get the ball out. I think he'd be able to stay good. Really, it's been him staying on the floor. He's been in some foul trouble. It's just some silly fouls that he can fix easily, and I think he should be back to rolling this week.
Do you think it's mostly something that he has to adjust to? Is there something schematically that the team can do to try to relieve pressure on him?
As a team, I don't think we was getting to the open areas for him so we could find him. I think we were just standing and watching him and expecting him to score, which is hard. You can't score on two people. So coach already talked to us about cutting off the post and finding an open area for him.
What were those fouls that he was picking up that called silly fouls?
Just like over the backs, getting fouls when the plays was over. Stuff that he could easily fix. I think it was more like a frustration fouls. But I think he's once he watches film, coach watches film with us every day, so he's gonna easily fix that.
When they crashed in on him, did that leave maybe more opportunities for you to stretch the floor, or really anyone, I guess?
Yes, because when people double team, usually been doubling off of me. So I can get to cut to the basket. Usually Tone finds me at least once a game for a dunk off that. I get to get open shots. They call the team rotate on defense, so it gives a lot of open shots for everybody.